It's
Some
not
of you
the
have
reason.
loved many times.
And that's okay. You're just good lovers. You're generous lovers. That's okay.
We're not judging.
We're
What's up, everybody? I'm King.
And I'm Angela.
What are we here to talk about?
We're going to help you know when to cut someone loose. I know a lot of you out there have some cliffhangers, some dingleberries. No, so a relationship.
People that you just dragging along and
Yeah,
it's just
and you're
weighing
just
you
and
down.
and you every day you find yourself thinking like, should I keep going and give this more time? Should I cut it loose? And you go back and forth. That's exhausting.
Let
We've
me
both
give them
been there.
let me give them the benefit of the doubt.
And you love the person. You might even love the person. That makes it even harder. You're bonded with them. You've done some fun things together, had some good times.
You might not love them. That may make it even easier.
So we're going to give you 5 ways to know when it's time to cut someone loose.
Number 1 is when you know your effort is not mutual, or the effort is not mutual. You find yourself doing all of the planning of the dates, the when are we going to see each other the next time,
The texting, initiating the calling. You feel like you're caring more. You feel like you're doing more. You feel like you're giving more. And it's been pervasive. It's not just, oh, this week it feels this way, or 2 weeks. Because people get busy and sometimes you will carry more. But this has been the pervasive feeling, is you just feel like you're always caring more, putting in more, doing more.
And it's not the feeling, it is the fact.
Looking at the 5 love languages, it could be doing more financially, it could be doing more acts of service, it could be doing more verbally affirming, more physical affection.
Yeah, you always have to be the
more
one to
gifts.
initiate.
You're just always, it's always feeling imbalanced that way.
Even when it comes down to apologizing, you could be the one that always is like, it's always your fault, or you're always the one trying to rectify or resolve the situation, when that's both people's responsibility.
So if the effort's not mutual, it's really strong indicator that it's not the right relationship for you. There's someone who will match your effort. We both know that. We've both been in relationships where it didn't match, and eventually, you know, that ends. It's not a workable long-term solution, no matter how much you love the person or wish it would work out. So that's one sign that if you've been thinking about it and you know that mutual effort's not there, it's probably time to let them go.
It's time.
It is time. Number 2 is if your most important values don't align. You have to know yourself and know like what are your most important values, but if they're not aligning, they're not ever going to. You can't stay in a relationship hoping that someone will change, because they won't. And that's not fair.
Yeah, what's gonna happen is you're actually gonna become a shell of who you were. You're going to shrink. 2 things happen when 2 people are walking. One person,
the other. I might do that to you.
That's what you want to do when the person isn't being mutual. But the 2 things that happen when 2 people are walking is one person, most of the time, automatically adjusts to the other person's pace. Whose pace are you walking to? Don't shrink because another person's standards or levels don't come up to yours. One example for me is financial. My former was not good with money, and we just did not align with that. I was always coming to the rescue with paying off stuff and getting things out of debt, finding credit cards that had been ran up, bills stored in a drawer, things of that nature. So that is a huge misalignment that I personally dealt with. It's a beautiful thing to have 2 people that are financially aligned, that have the same goal in mind.
And that's one of your top values, so that would make sense for other people. I mean, it is kind of a big issue, but for some people that might not be the top value. I know for me, a situation, a relationship ended because here's one of my top values, is treating other people with the utmost of respect and reverence. No matter if they're a homeless person or the president, like everybody deserves to be treated with some reverence and some respect.
Sure.
And I was with somebody who just didn't really give a shit about other people. And that would just hurt my heart every time that I would see that person mistreat somebody. It just, that long term, those values were just not gonna align. So knowing your top, what is like the top important things to you in life, your values, if that person just constantly is not aligning with that, you're never gonna feel at ease, you're never gonna feel like yourself. You're not gonna have respect for them even, because if you really respect something, like in your case, financial savvy or saving, and somebody isn't that, you're just not ever gonna carry a level of high respect for the person that you're with, and that's not gonna work.
Sometimes people will try to belittle you because your value is so strong on something. Like I've been told, all you care about is money. And it's not the case, right? That like money is a tool that we all need in life in order to proceed and live life comfortably.
Yeah,
and if
so
you don't think
someone
that,
is-
then you're just fooling yourself.
If someone is downgrading or putting down your top values, that's not going to work either. So if it's on the fence and you know time and time again there's just been some misalignments with things that are really important to you, it's probably time to cut that person loose.
Yep.
Even if you love them and even if they love you. One thing you're going to hear from us a lot is love is not enough. You can love so many people in this world. There's so many lovable people. Mm-hmm. Love is not enough to hold a relationship together, unfortunately.
Yeah. Love changes. Love is one of those things that comes and goes. Sometimes it's stronger, sometimes it's weaker. What it really comes down to is commitment. Mm-hmm. Commitment is key above all.
Yeah, there's a couple other factors, and we can do another video on that. But an alcoholic loves alcohol. You can love something that's poisonous to you. You might have a gluten intolerance, but you love bread. Just because you love something doesn't mean that it's right for you. It actually can be destroying you. Mm-hmm. So love is not enough. Just because you really love a person, you know, that hurts. It hurts to let them go, but at the same time, love is not a reason to hold on to somebody.
Because some people love people to death.
What does that mean?
It means that they will stay in a crappy situation, a toxic situation,
that
and
kills
they will,
them?
yeah,
ultimately
and they will lay
them.
there. They will stay there, and it will ultimately kill them. Another reason of when you know to cut this person off is because your fights never heal. You get into a high level discussion or a fight, and you never come back to the point of resolution.
Never resolve, right?
You kind of sweep it under
the
rug.
You make each other worse with your fights.
Yeah, and you kind of sweep it under the rug, and you never attach it. Here's the thing that often happens. You know, we just need a break. We just need a vacation. We just need to go somewhere. And you go off for your 2-3 day weekend or your week vacation, and you come back and the same mess is sitting right there when you get back. You experienced
that in your
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Because you
never address anything.
Also, if your fights are actually tearing each other down, that is just going to continue to get worse. If you're saying things when you're fighting, F you, calling people names, disrespecting them, saying like things that actually cut to their core, you're just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse because your fights are actually cutting you down and making you worse, as opposed to we'll make another video about this, but you actually can have disagreements and fights that actually bring you to better and better to a place of love. Yep. It sounds crazy, but it actually does. Fights can be very resourceful in building your love and your trust in your relationship. Yeah. So if your fights are continuing to break you down, tear at your heart, hurt you, make you worse as people, that is a sign that you need to let that person go.
And make you less communicative too. Like you shut down.
Oh, right. Some people just don't even want to talk anymore.
But when you do talk, when you do talk, you're bringing in things that
layers,
happened 2 years ago,
because they weren't addressed.
Like you're stacking all this stuff up, and you're just communicating hurt. That's all you're doing. And now you're positioned to hurt anyone in your path. And you're also set up to be less communicative to anyone in your future because now you're dealing with the trust issue. And so that brings up another point, which is trust that is beyond repair.
Another sign that if you've been thinking about whether you should keep someone or not, if that trust is beyond repair, it's just, there's sometimes that someone's flatlined and you just need to call it. Like that trust, if it's been violated, if you've been cheated on once even, twice, 3 times, that trust is so far in a negative, sometimes it just cannot be repaired. It is extremely difficult to repair trust after betrayal. The other person who betrayed you or broke your trust has to be willing to live like a interrogation suspect. They have to be willing to do that to get the trust back. They have to be willing to let you know where they're going, have high levels of accountability, and earnestly desire to earn your trust back. If that's not there, you're not ever going to get it back. You're going to live in a constant state of anxiety of like, oh my gosh, they've been gone for 2 hours. I don't know where they are. They haven't called me. They don't answer my text. And you're going to be living in this state of anxiety and worry and fear. That trust is gone and you can't get it back, and you cannot have an intimate, loving, healthy relationship without the foundation of trust there.
You know somebody that's dealing with this right now, go ahead and share this video. Hit that subscribe button. And while we're on this topic of talking about that whole trust thing, listen, if you're in this place where you're trying to build trust, and every time, if you're in this place where you're consistently trying to build trust and you have an issue with just letting someone know where you are, or hey, I'm on my way home, or just doing those things that it takes to build trust, then you probably need to just man up or woman up and say, look, I'm just not ready for this thing. And just let it go. Stop wasting person's time.
And the last sign that it is time to pull the plug, to cut the dingleberries off, is if you are actually having physical or mental health symptoms from being in this relationship. I personally experienced that before and knew like, oh my gosh, nothing is worth this cost. The cost of my health, physically, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, nothing is worth that. And so when I actually, the stress, when that actually began to, my hair started falling out and I started to, my friends noticed I wasn't myself, like that is time to pull the plug. Nothing is worth the cost of your physical, emotional, or mental or spiritual health. So if you are suffering any symptoms since you've been in a relationship with someone and you're wondering whether or not to keep them or let them go, your body's betraying, your body's trying to talk to you. Your spirit's trying to talk to you. It's sending you signals it's not well. Please listen to me. We need to get out of here.
Yeah, and don't ignore your friends too. Like
right.
A lot of people say, oh, my friend, they just jealous, they just hate. No, your friends sometimes see things that you can't see because
right.
we have blinders
Love
on.
is blinding you.
Yeah.
Right.
I've had friends that tell me, a couple times that, look, what is this you're doing? Like, no, you're the man. Like you give excellent advice, and I get great advice from you, but you're not all there right now.
Yeah.
And I had to face that.
Need him to smack you on the face. I gotta thank your friends. Good advice, friends.
Yeah.
All right, so we both been in a place where it's actually emotionally draining to be like, oh, should I hang on? Should I let this person go? But I love them, but we hope that we can bring you some peace and some clarity to be like, here are 5 things. If you're experiencing this, if they're really, really strong signs that you need to cut that person loose, pull the plug. And really quickly, reasons to not stay in. Love is not enough. You're gonna love a lot of people in your life. You're gonna love, and in all types of ways, parents, children, friends, lovers. You're gonna love again. There's so much love in the world. Love is not a good enough reason to stay in just because you love somebody and you're bonded to them. You will get bonded and you will love again. Guarantee it.
Yeah, if you've had a relationship before, you know that you love
you will
many
love
times.
It's
some of you have
reason.
Loved many times.
And that's okay. You're just good lovers. You're generous lovers. That's okay.
We're not judging.
But anyway, do not stay for love. There is so much more. You will love so much more. Love shouldn't hurt. Love doesn't hurt. Love in its purest form never hurts. It's so beautiful, powerful, strong. It's one of the most amazing human experiences we can have is love. What hurts you is betrayal, lack of trust, toxicity. All those other things are what hurts, not love. So you will love again.
Don't stay because you are afraid or you have the fear of starting over.
I've been there.
Same.
Yeah. It's like, oh my gosh, you have to get back out there and start dating, and it's exhausting, and will I meet somebody, and all that.
And you think it's convenient and you can fix that person. You can't fix a grown man or a grown woman.
No.
They are already fixed. Okay, you got what they.
And it's not fair to ask them to change. Who are you to ask somebody to change? They'll change when they want to, and they clearly haven't.
If they want to, so they don't want to.
Right. Don't ask somebody to change. Find somebody who is exactly what you need them to be. Or at least willing to grow with you into what you both want to be.
Yeah, otherwise you're just cheating yourself.
Right.
If you're cheating yourself, you're having a lesser experience than what you deserve.
So don't stay because you're afraid of starting over again. We get it, we've been there, but it's not a good reason.
The last one is you may be comfortable, like extra comfortable. All of my stuff is over the other person's place, or we got a dog together,
or mutual friends, and it's gonna be awkward.
Or they know my kids are involved in their lives, and it's this blended experience that just didn't work out. Pick up your stuff and go.
I tell my life coaching clients, like, whenever we go to make a change, there's, you know how you get in the ocean and there's like those really big breakers that crash, like you're fine up to your knees, right? Because it's not bothering you, but then you get out around your waist or your chest and there's breakers that come over you. It'd be real easy to turn back because that's not comfortable. It's scary, it's over your head, it's choppy. But when you push past that breaker point, it's really still and calm out there. And so it's like that point, to his point of not just staying because you're comfortable, you don't want to do the hard work. pushing through those really uncomfortable couple weeks or months where maybe you do have to move out and get a new place. Maybe you do have to say goodbye to a shared pet, or tell mutual friends, hey, sorry, we're not gonna see each other the same way. Like, that's hard.
Yeah, some of you are just purely there to save money too. Can't afford it.
Roommate situation.
I can't afford this. You can't put a price on your peace.
Right.
You may have to make a financial sacrifice in order to get yourself to where you know you need to be.
So we're here to help you find the most amazing love of your life, to help you heal, to help you get into the relationship you dreamed of, and sometimes that requires cutting off, changing, ending, letting things die so that new life can start.
And if you need to know how to let them go, hit us up, because we can give you a line or two. Very, very good exit strategies. I think nothing works better than being direct when it comes to that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's people that are comfortable in that role, people that aren't comfortable in that role. It could very well be a hard conversation, which we talked about in another video. When it comes to these things, it has to happen for the betterment of yourself. No one is more important than you.
Keep healing, keep loving,
and hold hope.
And we'll see you next time. Okay. Starting already?
We are ready.
Okay. I mean that someone's can change.
Let's go ahead to, I think it's throwing me off, whatever that is.
Fights are not something I can start that. Also, and
while we're, go ahead.
Go ahead.
It should.
Wait, start over.